The price of scrup is going through the roof and could reach as much as $1,650.00 to $2,900.00 by the end of 2024. Get ready for a big financial break. These claims aren't just crazy. They're based on a big event, the release of an ETF. Think about this BlackRock. The big bank that made a Bitcoin exchange traded fund that did very well is now using its great track record to help XRP. The fact that almost every ETF plan BlackRock has sent in has been accepted makes their move into XPrep a big deal. But BlackRock isn't the only one making waves. Something new has been added to the game. Grayscale has not only suggested an XRP ETF, but they have also added XPrep to their list of coins. XRP and Ripple Labs are becoming more important in the world of international business. Welcome back to HelpCoin, the place where you can find everything about IXX. Before we get into the meat of today's post, let's quickly catch up. Please do me a favor to join our great group. Click the like, subscribe, and bell buttons. Also, just so you know, we're getting ready for a big expert gift as we get closer to 8,000 subscribers. Easy to enter the giveaway. Just do these 3 things. Make sure you're ready and tuned in. And don't forget to leave a coin code in the comments right now. Let's see what's new in the fun world of scrup today. BlackRock has a great track record when it comes to accepting ETFs. If you look at the numbers more closely, you can see this. Blockchain and Web3 are now being used by BlackRock. This is a big change from how traditional finance sees digital currencies. BlackRock is the best at managing assets in the world. Their almost perfect track record of accepting ETFs shows how well they understand the stock market. Remember that BlackRock has an amazing 99.8% approval rate for ETFs, which makes them an unbeatable force in the world of ETFs. It's important to look at the big picture. Big banks like JP Morgan and BlackRock have not only been looking at, experts say that these big companies have put more than 7.5% of their entire wealth into XERP. A recent well-researched article even suggested that BlackRock might be switching its entire focus from Bitcoin to XERP, which would be a big change in how they spend their money. This shows that people are becoming more interested in XERP, which makes the idea of a BlackRock-backed XCrop ETF more likely than ever. Things get even more interesting now, though. There is a new person in the expert story. No one knows who made the XRP app, but the fact that it exists is a big step toward an ETF. This is what the stories say. It's official that XRP has been released, but it's still in the pre-release process and doesn't have any value yet. More people are talking about the idea of releasing an XRP BTFA at the same time as the app. This simultaneous release not only makes sense, but it also shows how quickly work is progressing in the ETF. And to give you an idea of how big the potential is for XPrep, XRP's value could go through the roof once its ETF hits the market, going up to $1,650.00 or even $2,500.00. Pay attention. This isn't as crazy as it sounds because the XPrep is already live and the XREFA will be. Unfortunately, a big name in the financial world, has made the exchange traded product for expert public. This means that things are moving quickly toward the start of an XBTF. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is expected to give its approval soon. We even talked about a newly published piece yesterday. The news came from a report that was leaked from BlackRock and said that an expert bet might be coming soon. This report showed that an ET filing for XPR was about to happen. A top BlackRock analyst made a public comment yesterday, which made things even more exciting. Announced that a BlackRock ETF would be launched just for the XG group. Have faith in an AF report. I wasn't sure about this at first, but I checked it out, and sure enough, it's on the Delaware list of corporations online. This new development changes everything and shows how close we are to seeing a big change in XRP's market position, maybe even bigger than the changes we've seen with Bitcoin's ETF. A new study makes it clear that the crypto world is changing in a big way. Large companies are getting into cryptocurrency, as shown by the fact that both BlackRocket and JP Morgan have bought more than 7.5 million expert. BlackRocket is leading the way by hanging on to a lot of VX and using the expert system in their business. When you look at all the important things that are about to happen, like the public launch of an XREF, there is a very good chance that BlackRock will approve the XREF TIF. They have almost a perfect track record of doing so. You can't say enough about how much an XREF TIF changes its value. That's why a $9,831.00 gold price for XRP, which may seem high at first, starts to make sense when you think about how much SCRP is setting itself up to become a major player in global debt trades. It's possible for $180.00 to $1.3 quadrillion to move through the XRP. With the ISDA being the main driver and the BRICS, several countries, including Saudi Arabia, are adding the XRP ledger to their systems. The Republic of Palau is also using the XRP ledger to build its central bank digital currency. This is a classic case of high demand and low supply. So it makes sense that the value of each XRP coin would skyrocket. Some people think that my excitement about XCrop is just a dream. Okay, so maybe they're right. But let me say this. I really want to accept this opium. I take a deep breath, roll it up into a big ball, and light it. That's really strong stuff that I believe in. I hope it keeps you going, especially when things are bad and you're barely hanging on. No problem. If you don't believe in it, it's okay to not believe in hope and think it's all just wishful thinking. That's what I tell myself. We're not about dropping pieces into a void, so anything less feels like that. We're here to keep things calm. And since we're talking about good things, I love how interesting the talks are and how challenging everyone's views are. It makes your mind work really hard. Someone made a good point about organizations and how XProp doesn't have to be bought by them. They could also lease it. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? What would happen if only average people bought XProp? I looked into this more and even asked ChatGPT how many trades happen every day on the number was over $7 trillion, 0 cents, which was crazy. Keep in mind that this only includes foreign trade. The futures market is worth quadrillions of dollars. NFTs, not finite tokens or tokenized assets like real estate. Now think about how XProp could be used in all of these areas. Let's start with foreign trade, which is where SWIFT works. You cut that $7 trillion 0 cents in half. What do you think would happen if XXX with its $1,700 0 cents connections, yes, Ripple and Sharp have really set a high bar here, had to handle only $3 trillion 0 cents of it every day? The system would have to hold $3 trillion 0 cents